Hi and welcome. Today I have Nico Armstrong. He is with Streamline with us. Can I have you give a little bit of an explanation as to kind of what it is that you do?
Yeah, so what we do is we help attorneys and other individuals in the legal industry automate repetitive tasks to where they can buy back time in their day and really see the work-life balance and the true benefits of being a business owner rather than an employee in their own law firm or in their notary business, however you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah, because originally we connected through social media and I saw some of the stuff that you were posting. I was like, this is amazing. This is exactly what I would need for my notary business. And that's kind of how we connected. And then you had such good ideas that I was like, everybody needs to know this. But it's been super helpful, like to start implementing some of the things that you were saying. And so I just thank you for coming on and
Yeah.
let's
Thank you
get
for
into it.
having me.
Yeah. So, okay. I know that we didn't talk about this, but how did you kind of start doing this business model? Because it's great. It's a great business model. Like I feel like everybody in their entire life
Yeah.
needs to start.
So I started out as a legal intern at
Mhm.
a law office. And from there, I was tasked with the duty of, redesigning their website. And I did that, had an amazing time with that. We all love websites. But then from there, after I got done with that, the other intern that got hired was more on the legal side of things. And they were like, hey, we need your business management operations side for the law firm to grow. So what they did is they tasked me with the objective of actually automating and actually documenting a bunch of the processes in the law firm. And from there, I was really invested on how to actually save time for the law firm and how to make them more efficient because as I go on with my status as an employee, like I wanted to get raises and promotions and all that. So where I was just thinking like, hey, how can I make the biggest impact in this law firm? And it was by choosing the right technology and basically switching them off a case management software
Mhm.
and onto a new one to where now basically the whole law office that I used to work for is now automated to its full potential. And now they're saving, 60, 70 hours plus a week. And how do you get to those numbers? Well, I count like all the individual employees' time. They're saving 10 hours, 15 hours per employee. And it's like it all adds up.
Mhm.
And now I mean, keep in mind that office was pretty much paper, all paper. So
Yeah.
we really had to digitize everything and make everything more efficient. And I really found a need and a want in the legal industry because I see so many attorneys almost burned out because they aren't using technology in the most effective way to where they're now missing their kids' soccer game or their kids' ballerina. You signed up to be a business owner for a reason. Now let's buy back your time. And
Mhm.
basically, I just decided, okay, if I can do this for one law firm, I could probably do it for a bunch of others. And that's when I started to expand and market to other law firms and offer my services for automation because I know how much of an impact it can be, to your well-being as a business owner, but also it can save you time, make you more money, et cetera.
Mhm. Like it also, translates to all of these different things because as soon as I started automating and like kind of doing some of the like using some of the software how it actually should be used, it's freed up so much more of my time and
Yeah.
just in general. And I think I remember you saying something about like I guess how do you reply to people that are like, "Oh, well, I don't want everything automated because I want that like genuine touch." How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so with automation, we're never meaning to automate something to get rid of the human factor, right? The human in the loop is essential with automation, and I think there has to be a human subjective experience that actually is triggering these events to be automated. But with your concern of like, okay, how do we make these messages more personalized? We can really do that with, I don't know, let's say you're setting up an email campaign. You can set
Mhm.
up a bunch of variables, and with variables, you can actually get into like, oh, I can customize the first name, last name,
Yeah.
what they're interested in. You can basically input all their notes. And how we can do that is once we actually like trigger something. So like when I say trigger, let's say like we want to start an automation.
Mhm.
You can actually send all that information that you have on a client or a prospect. So let's say you have their first name, last name, email, some notes that you have about them, their order history, all that stuff. We can send that information over to ChatGPT, and we can actually personalize that and create a really personal message as if you were writing it, and then put that into an email to send off to them. And that's how you kind of get rid of that fear of like, oh my gosh, I don't want it to sound robotic. I don't want it to sound automated. But also, I always say to clients, like, okay, give it like 1 or 2 minutes. Don't do it
Mhm.
immediately, but send that automated message. Probably give it like a minute and 30,
Yeah.
like send it fast to where you're not losing out on the prospect or the client, but make sure that there's some human element time, as I like to call it. So
Well, yeah, because the other thing that I think about is like as far as scheduling, like
yes.
I love Calendly. And before I spent so much time walking signers through everything that I just didn't have time to do anything else as far as like doing the actual notarizations. And so then like setting up that workflow of very like timed thing of like this is how to get signed on, this is what you need, this is like has set me up so that I can do more notarizations because I'm not on the phone walking these clients through how to do everything because they've gotten like five
Yeah.
or six emails on how to do everything.
And
So
still to this day, I mean, on your point with Calendly, I mean,
yeah.
that's one of the first things that I will implement into a law firm is if they're not using an automatic scheduler like Calendly to automate the emails and the text messages and the reminders to their clients. But
Mhm.
once I do, it's like it's a very immediate improvement, and you can shave off 20 hours a week in a law firm or in your notary business immediately
Yeah.
because you're not spending any time logistically speaking on coordinating and sending out these Zoom invites and all these different things that Calendly would otherwise do. And, that's part of the intake process, right? And I think the best people that implement Calendly to its 100% usage, right? If we're talking
Mhm.
about using software to its 100% capacity, it's using Calendly to actually create an automated email sequence to actually nurture and to actually educate your prospects right before the meeting.
Yeah.
And I mean, those emails are going out anyways. So let's take the opportunity. Let's send them to a bunch of YouTube videos. Let's send them to content that we've created. Send them to a bunch of other resources that we've put out there to where it
Mhm.
acts like a marketing tool to actually pre-sell the appointment for you.
And that's good because like for Calendly, you can set it up with different events. So I have one where it's like signer events of like notaries or like clients, and then I have it of like prospects for like if like a law firm or a title company comes in and has questions, and then we book a call. I have it send out like this is how to work with me. This is what I need. That way, by the time that they get to me, in person, they already are like, okay, I watched your video and you said this, but like, whatever. And I'm like, yes, this is great.
And I think, and also what I've seen Calendly do for other law firms and people in the legal industry, it's a great way to pre-qualify people, right?
Mhm.
So if you have qualification questions on Calendly, I think they just came out with a new product update to where you could actually change the conditional logic or
Yeah.
basically the logic of how questions are coming.
Mhm.
And you can create like, okay, if then answers, like if they respond yes to this, then this other question will pop up. And that's super powerful to where you can automatically qualify or disqualify people based on what they're answering. And you can do that through automation or you can do it through Calendly. But we've seen that be like, hey, you could actually save a bunch of your time by not meeting with unqualified people that just wouldn't otherwise buy.
Yeah. And then, so I know that what we just said probably sometimes goes over people's heads. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants help, like, because I get it all the time where people are like, can you walk me through or can you help me set this up? Or can you, I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no, but ask Nico. So I'm gonna leave all of your information in the box, like in the description box and everything too, because it translates to the notaries too. Because like one
Yes.
of my things is if I have it so that I know that my clients can do everything within an hour and I'm not spending an hour getting them signed on, I can book more appointments so I can make more money. So that is why I think that it's useful to even have a conversation or start getting this set up. Yeah.
And I would say if I'm going back to your point about utilizing software to its 100%
Mhm.
capacity, a lot of the things that we do when we're trying to experiment or see what a company has with their technology stack and all these different things. We want to see how they're using their current softwares and to see how utilized or how underutilized they're using it. So some people will overutilize things. Okay, use Calendly as like a customer relationship management software to where they're putting all their leads on there. It's like, no, it's just for scheduling. Or you have someone not using, HubSpot or Go High Level in the most effective way to where they're missing out on a bunch of features. And the last thing that I want to do as an automation company is to put you on more software, but I want to actually make the software that you already have and that you're already paying for to actually utilize it to its 100% potential, because I want the software to be lean, right? So I only want 2 or 3 softwares in a business, and I don't want to deal with any more because any more softwares, it's like more subscription costs, all these different things. So, and it just adds more complexity. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible for people to actually access a lot of the automations and really just to digitize everything. That's the basic.
Yeah, because I've talked to different notaries and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, what are you using now? And they're like, well, I have ManyChat and Go High Level and Calendly and QuickBooks and Wave and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, you do realize that all of those, there's like this one does what you just paid $15 a month for it. Like if you just start using this software, you don't have to do that. So do you do that where you kind of do like an audit?
So once we onboard clients, they fill out a Google sheet to where they list all the softwares and their usage as to how they use the softwares in the most effective way. And then me and my team will actually look at that and say, okay, you could probably cut half those softwares and we can just utilize and set up and implement the usage of other softwares that you have in hand, to where now we're saving subscription cost. Also, we're now saving time because there's no back and forth with different apps. Because ideally what I would want is, if I'm going to automate something, I want to use as little apps as possible, because then there's not as much risk for it ever breaking. Find someone else. But yeah, I would just give you my Calendly link. You can check us out at streamlinewithus.com.
Wait, what's your Instagram?
Yeah, my Instagram, Nico Armstrong with 2 G's. And Katie can put it down below in the bio. But yeah, I mean, it's great to really reach the notary community and see what you guys are all about, to where I know there's a bunch of stuff that could be automated. And I've talked to Katie about all these potential things, to where it kind of overlaps in ways that I've been able to help a lot of law firms. So, and you guys, a lot of paper stuff and a lot of forms.
Redundancies,
so it kind of overlaps into the notary side. So that's nice. But
okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Bye.